Watch it, make it, like it, and support us by subscribing. Thank you. So this isn't a true origami project, it's a kirigami project, but I put origami as one of the tags because, like me, there are some origamists out there who does not mind cutting the paper. So please keep that in mind as you start this, because I know there's some purists out there. So what you will need for this one will be a pair of scissors. And I'm using a knife, or you can use a craft or a box cutter to make some cuts in the paper. So this is the right side of paper and this is the wrong. From the right side, you want to fold in half diagonally. Then you're gonna line this edge up with the bottom. Okay, so I want to make a crease that goes right down here, which is basically the center of this origami, but I just want it on the bottom there as a guide. So you're gonna fold this in half and just this bottom half pressed. Like I said, you're using it as a guide. Now, think of the folded line down here. You're gonna pull this piece over. See how this stays as a flap? Oh. Here, my tea is ready. Let me just finish this and I'll go get it. Okay, so it should look like that. So you had it like this, and see how that fold was made? You take that piece, you bring it over and kind of fold it in half and brings it down like that. That could be tricky. Let me go get my tea. Okay, I have my tea. Flip this over and you're gonna bring both points up to the top, the peak of this triangle. Leave this sticking out. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky because you're going to do a reverse fold. Basically, you want to tuck, we're going to tuck this into here. And in order to do this, I fold all the way against this crease. See, it should line up in there. And then lift this up, that helps. Push in. Reverse the fold here. Okay. Same for the other side. Fold, press, open, bring in, reverse fold, and there you have it. Okay, so now we're going to make the wings, and again this gets tricky, gets trickier. So take this point, bring it down, and you're gonna fold until you can't see it, it won't allow you. Now don't pull and press, just go back a little bit and do a diagonal so that this is perpendicular to here. I'm sorry, perpendicular to this. I meant parallel to the bottom, but that wouldn't make sense. Perpendicular to this center. I have to check every once in a while. My camera likes to all of a sudden stop working. Okay, so the same for the other side. So this is trickier than the other reversed hold. You're opening up this flap, and basically you're going to reverse fold this, and you have the two folds here, the creases. You can press along there and bring that up. Do the same for the other side. Open up. Come on, you could do it. Point. Make the folds opposite. Close up. Okay. Now what we want to do is make the little bombers on the wings. So to do this, you're going to need the scissors. So you have the flap open on this, and you want to cut towards the point. You only want to cut the first flap. You're not cutting the second flap, and you're going to cut until the fold. So last time I cut it this angle and it didn't come out right, so that's why I am stressing this way. And you open it up and it looks like an arrowhead. Now think of this line and go along that line and make a fold of it. And as you can see, this will run parallel to the center of this. The bottom of this triangle will run parallel to the center. And then fold it in, because these are supposed to be rockets on the bottom. So fold it in to curl it up. You want it to look more circular. And to take out that point, you can curl it in again. Just make it look more rounded. And then when you're finished and you like the way it looks, fold this so it's pointing downward on the lower part of the wing. So same thing, follow the line up, parallel to the center. Fold to round it off. Fold again, make it a little bit more, so fold it downwards. Okay, now flip it over and those things are on top. Oh, we'll fix that at the end. Okay, so now we're going to score the cockpit, and I will show you with a knife and scissors. I don't like using scissors because they're fat and hard to hold, but since not all of you probably have a knife or a craft knife. Okay, fold this in half. You're gonna have to again later to reinforce that center fold, and you can see it. You want to make it so it's pointing, the first one is going to be pointing to the back of the plane, and the other one will be pointing to the front. Okay, let's start with scissors, which are more difficult for more than one reason. Okay, so you want to score it. Score the whole thing initially, because you'll find once it starts cutting, it may get out of hand, but and not cut straight as you want it. So continue to score gently. And it will eventually rip the paper. Keep in mind, you don't want to rip through the second layer of paper. That's one of the tricky parts of this. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other part. with a knife, because I like using the knife. Think of where you want to score it is right above the wings, because that's where it is in the F-16. Again, score where you want it, so also with the knife, it will be able to cut once. Okay, I see it opening there. I'm going to take it, stick the knife in, kind of raise it. Since I scored the other side, it cut off nicely. Don't use the knife as a way of cutting the line without scoring it, because I did that in one of my trial runs and it was not a straight line. It wasn't pretty. So the next thing I want to do is lift this cockpit, and that fold in the center there, I want to make opposite. So I don't want to use the knife, it was just flat, so I can get it open. Use the, and I'm going to pinch and help to keep it raised as I close this up. This stays raised, and see, you're going to make 1, 2, 3 folds on that. Sometimes it's sticking out, that's great. Other times it's not, no biggie. Either way, it comes out nice. And see, there's your cockpit. Okay, next thing we're going to work on is the wings some more. So what I want you to do now, this front flap, just the front one, cut from this point in the front down to the bottom. Okay. Now, think of a line running perpendicular from this point up, and that's how far you want to cut down on this side. I have a little mark there. And you pull down. That wasn't a very good cutting, but it's okay. So here's your triangle down below. You can fold that up and bring it back down again. We're going to do the same for the other side. I like it when they're kind of matching. So I try to fold it where it's sort of matching. Just realized that. Okay. So what I want you to do next is to fold this in half, take this with it, to the point. See where this stops there? That's where you want to fold it in half, perpendicular to that point, or folding in half parallel to this bottom, the bottom part of the plane. Oh, and then at the point here you can fold up a little. Do the same for the other side. So pull back to see where that is. It's basically lining this edge up with this edge. Okay, I did put these rockets upside down, so I'm going to fold it opposite because it should be below the wing. Same for the other side. That's not a major issue. These flaps here can open, fold again, and open up like that. And then pull it out. And there's your F-16 Falcon. If you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you.